My name is Athina, and you're listening to Let's Talk Disability, the podcast focusing on a range of disabilities from autism to dyspraxia to ADHD. I talk about the lot. Now, in today's podcast, the topic that I'm going to be talking about is growth and development within the workplace. Now, if you had asked me to do this topic about a year ago, I probably wouldn't have done it just because I wouldn't have had a job. I wouldn't have even had volunteered much comment on growth and development within the workplace as a disabled person. But all this has changed, and if you didn't know, I work at a clothing store as a retail assistant, and I've been working there since May last year, and I absolutely love it. However, there are some ups and downs, and I feel like at the end of the day, I have grown so much. So when I first started my retail job, I had so much anxiety. On a day-to-day basis, I used to struggle to look at people in the eyes and had real anxiety engaging in a normal conversation. So I was thinking, oh my goodness, what have I let myself in for? I knew I'd grow and develop, but at the time, you never think it. You can never see into the future, and you're just thinking about the here and now. The tills daunted me, folding clothes. On the very first day, my manager said to me, right, let's get you on the tills, no messing about. Because I know in some jobs, they like to slowly transition you onto the tills, or they like to do it step by step. But she was like, no, go on, let's get you on the tills. Even if you're going to struggle, we'll do it step by step. I won't leave you on your own. For the first couple of months, I feel what would happen would be when I first arrived there, in the first 2 hours, I would just be on the shop floor, folding clothes, making sure everything was tidy. And then for the last 2 hours, I would be exclusively on the tills, interacting with customers, but I would not be alone. I would be with a buddy. Well, I say buddy, just someone that's assigned to me through my paperwork. Step by step, I progressed, and by the end right now, I feel like I'm quite confident on the tills. Although there's still little bits here and there which I'm not. At the very beginning, I couldn't even remember my code to log in. It was just an overload of information, and my managers helped me so much get over that overwhelm by doing it step by step. At the very beginning, they didn't give me everything at once, so we started off very basic, just basic sales, nothing else. Then once I'd grasped that, I'd move to returns, and then once I grasped returns, I'd move to exchanges, and then once I grasped that, I'd do it together. It took me a while to grasp onto that, and when I say once I'd learned, they let me do it at my own pace. So whether it took a month, 2 months to learn, it didn't matter. I was just learning, developing, and growing. I think that's a tip I would give. Don't worry too much about making mistakes. As long as you're trying your hardest and the managers can see that, you will make progression and growth. I always forget, being neurodivergent, that my progression and growth is nothing like neurotypical's progression and growth. Mine will maybe 1 step forward, 2 step back kind of deal. Sometimes I'll just get like that, and then other times it takes me a while. Something that is a struggle in retail for me personally, which I haven't really progressed on this, and I'm guessing a lot of neurodivergent people, mainly autistic, dyspraxic, may relate to me on, is changing the layout of the shop every single week. Now, it takes me a while to grasp onto where things are, and when I first got there, it took me about a week or so just to go, right, there are the shoes over there, there's the skirts, there's this, there's that, and then they change it completely, and it just throws my brain off, and I absolutely hate it. And I know in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't look like a big issue, but it throws me off. Even if when I was younger, my mum tidied my room and she put stuff in a different place, that really threw me off, and it fell off, and it's just something I'm gonna have to try and get used to, but I know I will never progress and get used to that and just adapt quickly to change. Something that I want to talk about that's aimed towards mainly not growth and progression within the workplace, but it's still to do with the workplace. It has really helped me with my confidence talking to people, because before I got that job, I really was a social awkwardness. And I really struggled to look at people in the face, engage in a conversation. When I first went to my retail job, I was absolutely petrified to go up to a customer. My managers and my other colleagues was basically saying to me, if you don't want to do it, that's fine. Just make sure when you're serving them at the tills, just smile, but you don't have to go up to them in the shop if you don't want to. And I was like, yay, thank you. But then I started to think, you know what, I might push myself. I know it's masking a tiny bit, but in the long run, I have to get over this phobia of being absolutely nervous to talk to people and scared of what they might think. Are they going to judge me? Just my brain going blank. I need to push myself little by little. And the way I did that is, first of all, I just smile and just say hi. And I'd do that for a little bit, and then I'd go, how are you? This one time I thought, right, let's just be brave. Let's just ask them, do they want any help? So I just did it. And they said no, which is fair enough. I was hoping they'd say no. But I just felt so proud of myself. And I thought, oh my goodness, I actually spoke to a stranger. I spoke to a stranger in the shop, and it doesn't even look like a big deal, but to me it was absolutely massive. And it helped me on the tills. It helped me engage in conversation, because on the tills originally I was just scanning them, going hi, bye. That was it. Now I engage in a little bit of a conversation, like, oh, how was your weekend? Oh, hope you enjoy your holiday. I would never do any of that beforehand. And that just shows how much the job has helped me progress personally, within my confidence, within my communication style. Now, just because I have a disability and I am progressing slowly within work, that is no way me saying that someone else who has a disability and is struggling, like, say, should try harder. I know full well that it's really hard working in an environment with lots of people. I do find it personally overstimulating sometimes when I go into work and maybe I've had a meltdown in the morning or I've had a rough day and I'm not feeling my best. Everything is quite hard and overstimulating, and I found accommodations within my work, such as taking short breaks throughout the day, which my manager has approved. However, someone else might not be able to take them accommodations, or them accommodations might not work, and overall it might just be too overstimulating. I never thought I'd be able to work like one day, and I'm even shocking myself. And I didn't actually get a job till I was 24 years old, just because when I was younger, because of my disabilities, I could not work. So I hope you enjoyed the podcast. It's been a wild and crazy journey. I can't believe it's almost been a year in May that I've been working there. I feel like this year is just, I've progressed so much, from being even nervous to walking up to handing in my CV to now just walking in there, popping on tills and going, hi, how you doing? It has absolutely been a journey, and it hasn't just happened like that. It has taken months and months and months to progress. I wish I wasn't that hard on myself in my teens and early 20s not having a job, because looking back now, considering how much I've grown and progressed, I could just tell back then I wouldn't be able to have a job. But at the same time, looking at myself now, I am so proud of myself. So I really hope you enjoyed the podcast. If you're interested in more episodes, make sure to subscribe to my podcast channel, Let's Talk Disability. Make sure to hit the bell. I'm not sure whether there is a bell. Hit the bell. You don't have to, but if you could, I'd love it if you could give me a 5-star reviews. It really helps grow and develop my podcast. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed the podcast, and I'll see you next week for more fun content. See you then. Bye.